Hi everyone, and welcome back to the channel. We just reached 100 subscribers, so as a token of my appreciation, as promised, I'm going to be giving you guys access to this wonderful spreadsheet that has a lot of automations that I think a lot of you are going to enjoy and really like for managing your own portfolios. So that'll be in the link in the description. So yeah, go and check that out. And yeah, I'm just going to give you guys a bit of an overview of exactly how this spreadsheet works so you know how to operate it. So there's the main portfolio tab, which you guys see in all of the videos or portfolio updates. And then I have four other tabs that really basically power this main spreadsheet. So we're going to get into that. So um, first things first, there's a few hidden tabs here where you'll just have a drop down for like the stock exchange that your fund is on. So most of them are for me are on the TSE or Toronto Stock Exchange, but you also have options for the New York Stock Exchange, the Nasdaq, and the ARCA New York Stock Exchange, which is the one for VOO actually. So I put the main ones and then the one for VOO. Um, and yeah, so you have to put your symbol in the stock exchange, and there's automations even for the name of the investment. So this is automatically concatenating the symbol and the stock exchange, so you immediately get your investment name. Quarterly, or sorry, yeah, the distribution frequency automated as well. It goes to dividendhistory.org, and it has like an if statement here for if it's a Toronto Stock Exchange fund. It yeah, it puts like a TSX in the URL, so it knows to look at like that specific URL and then grabs it from the table. So that's automated. This as well, to say, whether it's the number of distributions per year, which is used in, a later column. The MER, I might automate this eventually, but for now it's just typed in. So you have like your MERs for each of your funds, so just enter those here, and then you get your total MER for your entire portfolio, which is I think is a really good thing to understand from your portfolio because yeah, you'll have your really low fee ones if you're doing a lot of growth style. And then if you want some income funds to put on the side, you can, they'll obviously give you higher fee. So it's good to be aware of that and track it so you can see exactly what your overall MER is with, all of your funds. So yeah, I like to see that and be able to, see, okay, I'm at 0.26 overall, even though I've got covered call funds, I'm basically at the MER of an all-in-one ETF like the EQT. So yeah, and then you have yeah, that's it for the hidden columns. So I'll go ahead and hide those again. So just a couple inputs there, just the MER and then your symbol. And by the way, the color code scheme is these green ones are like the growth funds, the blue ones are these are the income funds, uh, and then I just have like orange because that's the color of I guess it's not Horizons anymore, it's Global X, and actually this updated automatically when they changed the name because it's an API call. But yeah, it's Global X. And it's kind of like the color of their logo, and then I have just um, the gold one for my gold fund. So um, you have your gain and loss, which is just colorized. Yeah, your weights, your target weight. So these three columns here, the target weight, shares, and book price, these are all manual entries. So put your target weights for your funds in here. So I treat my FHSA and emergency fund as like aside from my main portfolio, so I don't have any weights in them. Like I don't have a weight for my emergency fund. I wanted to target it to be this amount of my portfolio, or the same for gold. I leave it as a dash, and then and also VEQT, my FHSA, I just decided to go 100% VEQT, so I'm just leaving it as a dash. But for your other funds in your main portfolio, you can put target percentages here, and you can see how your real weight compares to the target weight that you put. Enter your number of shares here. So I just usually go into Wealthsimple and I put like all the way to 4 decimal places for the absolute highest precision that you can get to get the numbers like really aligned. So you put those in here. And then you have your book price, which your brokerage will tell you that too. And you have current price, which is automatically calculated with Google Finance operators. And then you have a 90-day chart here. So this is a really cool feature of the spreadsheet. You have the ability to, see a chart of the last 90 days. So how that works is I have here a historical prices tab, and I put the funds from the portfolio right in here, like on this top row. And then there's a Google Finance call to look at the price from 90 days ago to today and on a daily basis. And you get basically all this data for each of the funds, all that pricing data, and you're then able to then I'm able to just chart them in these graphs. So yeah, so I have shared one for VFV and VOO, and it's actually just the VFV because it's nice because I can see the US dollar effect as well with when I went to VFV. So where they wouldn't see that with VOO, so I just elected to put VFV in this one big chart for both of them because they're an S&P 500 index ETF, so basically the exact same. VFV just holds VOO, so I'm like, just put it in one chart. And then I have these charts underneath for all my other funds. And yeah, so you just, the only thing with the charts is if I double click on them, you just have to, um, you have to set like a min and max for, I don't know if this is automatable. Like I really want to be able to just like put an equal sign here and you know, get the min from like the last 90 days. But sometimes you have to set like the minimum and that's like how the graph will be like shown here. So actually this gold one I kind of want to update because it's looking a little bit, um, here, go to like 16. Oh, sorry, 15.5. That was what is that? 15, 14 and a half. What else? 14 and a half. No, 16. Okay, yeah. Oh, we'll just leave it. Yeah, but yeah, you just set them in and then the graph will like kind of move with that. So then you have your distributions here. So again, it goes to dividend history and it uses the stock exchange column. So it's a very important column that you have to put there to put like the TSX symbol in there and it grabs the last distribution. So this is all automated. And just for reference, the dark purple ones are like distributions that can change frequently every payout period. And then the light purple ones are the ones that are you know, pretty fixed, pretty like reliable income. Then you have your book yield, which is calculated using your book price, and your current yield, which is calculated using your the current price of the stock. And then you have the annual income, as well as the period income. So that's just like depending on how often the fund pays, like quarterly or monthly, that's shown there. And then you have your quarterly and monthly totals here, as well as the total for the entire portfolio. So that's like my expected yield on a annually basis. So here's $6,600, and that's the overall yield of the portfolio. So then you have, so that's like the main like chart area, and then we go down to these graphs, which are also the sector allocation and geographic allocation are automated nicely. So I'll show you that right now. So if I go to sector and geographic allocation here, we have all the funds inputted from the main portfolio tab, and we have sector allocations as well as geographic allocations. And what it's doing is it's going to, so I'll go to this TD site here so that we can, you know, look at an example. Sorry, it was yeah, it's an if statement here, CA if it's Toronto Stock Exchange, so then CA slash VFE, and it's grabbing like a table from here. And there's a bunch of if statements, so don't play around with it too much. But yeah, it grabs like the sector allocation right here, as well as the geographic regions. So we have the 6 United States, Europe, Asia slash Oceania, Africa, Latin America, and Canada. So those get spread out throughout this and then plugged into these pie charts. You have also the fund breakdown, which is for the main portfolio basically. It's just charted in a nice pie chart here. And then I have a chart of my yield. So all the purple is the historical yield. So I'll go to the distributions tab here. So this is another tab in the spreadsheet. And every month I just create new rows here for like historical data. So you can just do like right here, just do like an insert one row above or below, and then you can input like the historical yield, and that'll give you these purple bars. But then we have forward looking as well. So it goes, it takes your monthly principal, your quarterly principal, and your annual principal, and then it shows the yield getting paid out. So for August, it's already, oh, because it's, yeah, it's July 1st now. It's gonna show me my yield for August, and then for monthly, because those always pay out, and then you can see it's $0 for quarterly, $0 for annual. But then on the quarters, it showed like the estimated yield for all those funds, and then the same thing for the annual. So yeah, so I'll put in a one for July here, actually, right now while I'm at it. Um, so yeah, just copy this, and then you can double click this in Google Sheets, and you can just go to, I'll just like put July 1st here. I thought it was I'm pretty sure it's going to be about 600, so I'll put that in for now. There we go. Oh yeah, right here, 600. I just have to change the bar to purple, fill color purple. There we go. So I have my yep, here June distributions and then my July distribution. So I'm pretty sure it's gonna be 600. I'll adjust it accordingly. But yeah, that's built into there. Okay, so we'll go back to the distributions. So yeah, and then I usually just hide this after I put in those distributions. So I'm just gonna do here. Okay, wait. Yeah, you have to go on this. Sorry, on the side here, and then do hide rows. And another thing I forgot to mention is you have to put in like, okay, so I put like my monthly passive income contributions and my growth contributions, so broke down by growth, passive income, how much I'm expected to put in, because that also is another factor in the chart is how much you're adding to the portfolio, including the dividend reinvestment. So that's about it for the distributions tab. And I usually I use this graph here on the side for the thumbnail for each video now. So I used to use passive, but the graph was starting to get a bit um, out of hand. So it looked a lot better in Google Sheets. So I just went with Google Sheets. So yeah, and then oh yeah, and that distributions here it also has like your estimated principal, monthly and quarterly principal. So that is also plotted in this. I actually just realized I don't have my annual principal here plotted, so maybe that's another thing I got to do in the future. So yeah, I'll be updating the spreadsheet as needed too, and I'll release like in the description of each video. I think I'm going to put like a link to the portfolio so that you can see any updates going forward because I might update automate the MER thing and then maybe make a couple of changes as needed. So yeah, so then after that I usually just hide all the sheets. I'm going to hide this one, hide this one, hide this one, and we're just going to go to the last pie chart here, which is the income breakdown, which is nice to see basically your work income, or just all your sources of income plotted in a graph. So here I have my work income, I have my investment income, and then I have savings interest and cashback rewards, which are very minuscule, but it counts as income, so I'm gonna throw it in there. Um, yeah, and it's nice to see this because then you can really gauge, and I don't know when is this updated. Okay, it's as of April 2024, so I'll update it um, as I go on. I might yeah, I'll have to update this but yeah, you just put in the value here, so I can put in May 2024, and I can see, yeah, there we go. Yeah, so you just plug in your numbers, and then you can choose it in the chart here. So yeah, that's my income breakdown. And this is basically just like, think of it as like a budget sheet. You put in your gross income, your payroll, which is your gross income minus all your deductions. Like, so here, B1 minus B25. Okay, that registered pension plan, company shares, like those get deducted off your paycheck. Also income tax, CPP, and EI. So then that's your payroll. That's how much you get paid. Like they actually see after all your taxes have gone through. And then I have how much I invest. So I have company investment. So that includes the RPP and company shares that I get, as well as my own investment. So I do 500 biweekly. So I put in here 1,000. You can see I invest about 2,150 a month basically, and then I have like here extra cash you know after you take off that, and then all my regular expenses. Then I have some extra cash laying aside that I could use to invest or um, buy some extra stuff. So I have here my regular expenses, which includes my rent, car insurance, tenant insurance, internet, my boxing gym membership, my uh, and then my groceries as well as protein, which is pretty expensive. So I put it as a regular expense because I need about like 200 bucks I should actually put like even gas here probably, but for me it's kind of hard to predict. So I kind of like left it out. But yeah, the extra cash like is for other things like that, like gas and stuff. But I put the main regular expenses here. But you can tweak this as needed. Just add a row in here, and it'll auto calculate everything for you. So yeah, so that's the monthly budget sheet. So I'm gonna hide that. And that's it. It's pretty robust. There's a lot of automations that will help, so you don't have to manually go in and like see, oh, okay, what's the sector allocation? Because like sector allocation will drift over time, and it's nice to have basically it's almost an API call essentially to get like exactly this data embedded inside the spreadsheet for you. So yeah, this is a combination of like it's this spreadsheet has evolved a lot, and I figured I'd share with you guys because it's a for me it's been amazing to just visualize everything on one big screen, having this nice summary view of my portfolio. So I wanted to share you with guys as a treat for 100 subscribers, and again, thank you for 100 subscribers, and yeah, we'll see you in the next video, and yeah, thank you guys. Have a good one.